Good evening and thanks for joining me for Thursday's news. The Rigo District Development Authority has passed a budget of 23 million kina for this year. Set within the national government's overarching development plans, the district will allocate funding into 6 key sectors, with infrastructure development a top priority. The district has also budgeted for COVID-19 response.
As 2021 begins, districts in the country are slowly adapting to the new normal after the country's economy was hit hard by the COVID-19 global pandemic. For Rigo District, a stimulus package of 2 million kina has been put to cover key sectors such as health, agriculture and small businesses, all of which were badly affected by the pandemic. The 23 million kina is the biggest budget the district has passed in the last 5 years. With infrastructure development making almost 61% of the budget, it indicates that this year the district will see more emphasis being put on road development and other key infrastructure programs. Governance and administrative work has the second largest cut, with economic activities, law and justice and the education sector all given allocation of over 1 million kina. DDA Chairman and local MP Lekwa Gure says the budget is built around improving enabling infrastructure. This will in turn encourage economic activities which will keep small businesses afloat. Gure says the district is also looking at building a district administration building that will come under the governance and administrative component of the budget. The budget was passed this morning in Port Moresby. Stanley Over Jr., National EMTV News.
Building schools in remote areas has many challenges. An understanding by the Latter-day Saints Church and Rigo District Development Authority has seen the construction of an elementary school. The classroom was opened yesterday by Rigo MP Lekwa Gure and Central Governor Robert Agorobe.
Our province.
The lone classroom is the first structure erected after years of discussions. The Latter-day Saints Church partnered the Rigo District to build this learning facility. The local MP says such partnership is paramount to extend education services to rural communities.
The fact that the Church of Latter-day Saints assisted with the building of this classroom shows that there is partnership between the church and the government along the way. But it also demonstrates that people do have the solutions within themselves to help themselves in many areas.
Present during the event was also the Central Governor. Governor Robert Agorobe spoke highly of helping communities build their own schools and health facilities. He says the Central Provincial Government embarks to improve not just facilities but the quality of education.
But the timber that you cut, 3/4 of it, you use it to build your classrooms. You use it to build your houses. Everybody must start living in a good house. You want roofing iron, you sell your food and you buy the roofing iron. I will provide you the timber.
Governor Agorobe also presented 10,000 to the school, including a set of sport equipment, water tanks and a chainsaw. This will help the small school continue its effort to build more to meet demand. Meanwhile, an educationist says while stakeholders work to deliver these services, teachers must also perform to improve academic achievements in the district.
Absenteeism, chronic absenteeism is set at high. So teachers, headmasters were informed as they resume on Monday that they should be doing smarter things to produce the standard. We cannot convince our members if our pass marks are very, very low and we are asking for classroom.
Jack Lopava Jr., National EMTV News.
Port Moresby has seen the opening of a new retail pharmacy. The discount pharmacy sells pharmaceuticals ranging from antibiotic to anti-cancer as well as hospital products. The mother company is one of the distributors of quality pharmaceuticals in the country and is one of the suppliers to receive first the marketing authorization license from the Department of Health.
Discount Pharmacy has various categories of services, including baby care, personal care, feminine care, dental care, and more. It provides variety of medical services, including normal health check, blood pressure check, diabetes check, obesity check, and vaccination, Apart from those medical services, it also sells pharmaceutical products like antibiotics to anti-cancer and other drugs.
We do sell all kind of drugs. We sell the basic antibiotics, we sell the maintenance drugs. When we talk of maintenance drugs, it includes your diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, cancer, and all other drugs as well. So any drugs you want, we carry more than 1,200 pharmaceutical drugs in our retail at the moment.
When comparing PNG with other countries, the population is huge and that we need to have more pharmaceutical retails to cater for the growing demand in pharmaceutical services.
PNG has got approximately 70 retail pharmacy. So if you talk in Papua New Guinea, for 128,000 people, we take the population of approximately 9 million. For 128,000 people, we have got one retail pharmacy. Just to give you a comparison, in Australia, there are 6,000 retail pharmacies. So for every 3,500 people, there is a retail pharmacy. In Philippines, for every 4,000 people, there is one retail pharmacy.
Since all the pharmaceutical retails provide similar services, the discount pharmacy is all about quality services at a very affordable price, accessible by all customers.
So we keep on supplying, and most of them they buy from us because of our good price and the quality products. Also, going forward, we can look into a public-private partnership as well.
And as demand rises, the pharmacy is planning to expand nationwide to provide primary healthcare throughout the country.
We have got some other plans as well, which are much interesting and which will benefit the healthcare and primary healthcare system in a much better way. We are in finalizing the process of that. Once it happens, we'll formally invite the media to do the official launching for that program as well.
Alexis Sengi, National EMTV News.
You're watching National EMTV News. We'll be back with more of the day's stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Christian community is farewelling a gospel singer-songwriter. Late Luther Joseph Nomoro, 56, from Morobe Province, has been described as a blessing to the country during his funeral service today in Port Moresby. He leaves behind 5 children, including musician Kronos.
The casket of a man who's been described by many who've listened or used his songs through worship as one of the best. He was a Morobian singer-songwriter, offering his time to the music ministry in the PNG Bible Church. Many who gathered today at his funeral, including the leaders of the church, described him as a gifted man, using his talent to create praises to the Creator.
If it wasn't for this man and the Elohim singers, we would be struggling somewhere. But this man, through his singing ministry, broke the ice.
Song from Luther was powerful there. Though he is gone, his songs will remain with us.
The 56-year-old leaves behind a legacy that the church says is too big to fill, challenging the upcoming Christian musicians to continue the work of the late Luther and the many others that have gone before. The late Luther leaves behind 5 children, including musician Kronos. His body departs for burial at his home province tomorrow. Bradley Valenaki, National EMTV News.
2020 was a challenging year for many organizations, including the Coffee Industry Corporation, amidst the COVID-19 pandemic. Chief Executive Officer Charles Dambui said coffee exports declined during the lockdown period between April to June, but picked up again later in September. This, however, did not affect coffee production.
This had a negative impact on our exports, and that actually slows down the export. But in terms of production, yeah, farmers were in their villages, they were working on the coffee, but it's just that the coffee did not leave our shores because of the lockdown and the transport and all these things. So they were more or less slow in terms of coffee exports. We have seen in September last year, exports pick up again.
New Power Limited officially handed over the last water tanks to Papa Village today. This ends the 2020 project, which started last year in October. So far, 6 water tanks were donated to churches and schools within the area. New Power is working in partnership with the community to help improve livelihoods of the people.
New Power, a company jointly owned by Oil Search and Kumul Petroleum Holdings, is now leading the way to develop partnership in implementing community projects within the impacted areas in Kariku-Iri district of Central Province. The last official handover of water tanks took place in the Papa SDA Church today. This ends the 2020 water tank donation project.
In a very big service to our communities, especially from Korabara all the way to Kido, and our very big thanks to them for providing. So far they have given Papa 6 tanks. What I did with the 6 tanks, instead of giving it to the community, I gave it to the churches. So all the denominations within Papa now have tanks at their premises, church, as well as the school area.
New Power External Affairs Manager Wellington Belawa thanked the community for accepting them. He further highlighted few projects that will be done within the area.
This is the last of the 2020 supplies, and we will continue to do that next year. It seems a very popular project, water supply, and we will continue with that.
A total of 170,000 kina was spent on the water tank donation project. All water tanks are situated at central locations where all villages can get access to clean water. Esther Thailand National EMTV News.
Environment Minister Mori says the Wafi-Golpu project is vital for the country. Speaking yesterday, Minister Mori says steps to develop the project are progressing. He says it's not about the country benefiting, but the Morobe provincial government and landowners.
By virtue of the granting of this permit, and the processing is now commencing, and soon the state negotiation team will deliberate this with the developers of Wafi-Golpu for the granting of a mine development contract. The Morobe provincial government, the people of Morobe will be represented through the Morobe provincial government and the elected leaders of Morobe in national parliament to ensure that the people of Morobe as landowners gain maximum benefits from the spin-offs that's going to be generated by Wafi-Golpu.
Chukai Industries Limited has changed their packaging material from polyethylene or PE to polyethylene terephthalate or PET packaging as of April 2021. All the designs on their packaging remains as they are, except for the type of material used on the packaging, giving the packs a more transparent look. PET is the most preferred as commonly used plastic material for thousands of consumer products, beverages and food items, as it is hygienic, strong and retains freshness. The change is also part of their innovation process as they look at how they better improve and meet the needs of their consumers. And now looking at the NASFund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2850 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina will buy $0.2775 $0.3574 Australian dollars, $0.2209 euro, and 28.21 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold is trading lower, coffee and copra closed higher, and cocoa closed lower. Palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, and copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed at 633.87 points lower. The ASX 200 is trading at 130.86 points lower, and the All Ordinaries is trading at 142.56 points lower. Chukai Sport is next. Details after the break.
Chukai Sports.
Welcome to Chukai Sports. The Morobe Ipatas Challenge kick-started at Lay's Rugby League Oval today. The challenge aims to provide a platform for raw talents not just in Morobe but around the country. More than 10 teams from around Morobe are participating in this event to showcase their talents in this 4-day event.
The Coca-Cola Ipatas Morobe Challenge started today in Lay. This challenge will finish on Sunday with the finals at the Lay Rugby League Oval.
With the Morobe Challenge, it's actually for all the teams here in Morobe. So they actually play off and they qualify for the Eastern End finals. And then whoever wins there, we have 2 teams that actually win. And then they play off in the grand final. While teams here that participate, players do get selected. Not only
the games played in this 4-day event will complete the Morobe Challenge. There were other challenges that started from Hela, Enga, Western Highlands, Jiwaka, Eastern Highlands and now Morobe Province. 104 teams took part from all the other challenges, including Morobe's challenge that started today.
With the COVID, we've actually had to postpone or actually cancel NCD Central and our NGI regions and East Sepik as well. So we actually had to cancel 5 provinces.
Like other sports, Rugby League is trying to develop good sportsmanship and expose raw talents. There are talents, but platforms are needed for these talents to be exposed. Ipatas Cup is providing that type of platform. Philia Pisep, Chukai Sports, Lay.
With NRL set to kick off on the 11th of March for the 2021 season, the Melbourne Storm are already in camp and training as the Storm prepare for the first game of the season against the preliminary finalist Rabbitohs. Former NRL star Willie Mason rates Justin Olam as a crazy kummel.
William Marshall Mason, aka Big Willie, former professional rugby league footballer, regarded Justin Olam as a crazy kummel in an interview with Dean and Kemp, former NRL player and host of the Bloke in a Bar podcast.
Vunivalu, Pappenhausen, and then the Olam, he was on fire. Crazy Kummel on that right edge, and he's popping everyone. He's popping everyone's head off. He was scary to watch.
The conversation led to the lineup of the Melbourne Storm 2020, which has been stamped as one of the greatest in the history of the game.
Solomona, Bromwich, Welsh, Fanuc, and just piling through that back fives changed. You got Fox, Vunivalu, Pappenhausen.
And again, the mention of Olam being one of the greatest centres of all time in the code. With the Storm set to play the South Sydney Rabbitohs for the first round game of the 2021 NRL season on the 11th of March, the pack is back in training. Meantime, Justin, the human brick wall Olam, has signed for another 2 years with Melbourne Storm, with Josh Edoka, aka the Fox, who will play his final season. Kilawani, Chukai Sports.
You're watching National EMTV News. That ends Chukai Sports, the weather forecast for the next 24 hours after this break.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
A look at the weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow in the southern region. Cloudy periods with some showers in Port Moresby, Kerema and Popondetta. Rain showers and drizzles tonight, then cloudy morning in Daru and cloudy with thundery showers in Alotau. In the Mamasa region, cloudy periods with a possible shower or two in Ley, Medang and Vanimo, and partly cloudy with a shower or two in Wewak. In the New Guinea Islands region, cloudy with a shower or two in Lorengau, Buka, Kavieng, Kokopo and Rabaul, and chances of rain showers and drizzles in Kimbe. And in the Highlands region, summer rain drizzles tonight, then morning fog in all centres. There is a renewal strong wind warning for the coastal waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru and Kiwai Island through Gulf of Papua to Yule Island and to Port Moresby and Hood Point, Arama Coast to Samari Island and all Milne Bay Province islands including Finschhafen to Vitiaz and Dampier Strait to CRC and West New Britain waters and the Coral Sea. Strong west to northwest winds of 22 to 30 knots are expected to strengthen with gusts to 33 to 47 knots and continue for the next 24 to 48 hours, causing high and rough seas. All small crafts and boats are advised to take necessary precaution before going out to sea, especially in the areas under strong wind warning. Forecast for small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru and Kiwai Islands to Kerema and Yule Island to Hood Point. Arama Coast to Samari Island, including waters of eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, seas of 1 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Samari Island to East Cape to Cape Vogel through Huon Gulf and Finschhafen, seas of 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitiaz and Dampier Straits to CRC and Long Island, seas of 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Long Island to Karkar Island to Wewak to Aitape and to the northern PNG Indonesian border, with waters of Manus and its western group of islands, including waters of New Ireland to Bougainville, and with waters of East and West New Britain, seas of 0.5 to 1.3 meters. A look at the ocean forecast. The PNG areas in the Coral Sea sees moderate to rough with west to northwest winds at 20 to 33 knots, reaching up to 47 knots. In the Solomon Sea, seas light with northwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. In the Bismarck Sea, seas light with northwesterly winds at 10 to 15 knots. And in the Pacific Ocean, seas light with northeast to northwest winds at 10 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sport and weather for today, Thursday, the 28th of January 2021. On behalf of the entire EMTV News team right around the country, pleasant viewing. Good night.